Hi, I'm Adam Yenser, and welcome to the Canceled News, where all of this week's top stories go to die. Please be sure to like and subscribe. It only costs a penny, and you'll get your first 10 CDs free. And come see me live. I'll be headlining JP's Comedy Club in Gilbert, Arizona, December 5th and 6th, Caesars Republic in Lake Tahoe, January 2nd through 4th, and the Looney Bin in Little Rock, Arkansas, January 7th to 10th. Now here's what's in the news. On Wednesday, Republicans and Democrats voted on a bipartisan deal to end the longest shutdown in U.S. history and reopen the government. As Thomas Jefferson once said, the tree of liberty must be refreshed from time to time by turning the government off, then turning it back on again. Olympic officials announced that in light of new findings, transgender athletes will not be allowed in female sports because they have an unfair advantage, except, of course, in pole vaulting. But look, I don't want trans athletes to feel left out, so I came up with an event just for them, focused on the greatest strengths and weaknesses of both genders. It would be called the Transcathlon. You run, swim, shoot, then parallel park and put on a fitted sheet. Finally, an event where trans athletes can truly shine. The Parliament of Queensland, Australia, is considering new legislation that would make it legal to keep dingoes as pets. Local pet stores have even started stocking up on bags of dingo food. That's Chunk Light Baby. My theory is that this law is a ploy by pit bull owners to make their dogs seem nice by comparison. At a ceremony on Sunday, Soundgarden, the White Stripes, Outkast, and Salt and Pepa were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Those two guys on the outside are Outkast, and then Jack is that white stripe in the middle. Cheryl Hines released a new memoir called Unscripted, where she reveals details of her life with RFK Jr. For instance, when RFK Jr. has a headache, she hides Tylenol in a dead dog carcass so he'll take it. Due to an intense solar storm this week, the northern lights were visible across the United States as far south as Florida, where officials kept an eye on the sparkly colors to make sure they didn't become too gay. Donald Trump has asked the Supreme Court to overturn the verdict that he sexually assaulted and defamed E. Jean Carroll. Now, for those of you who don't remember who E. Jean Carroll is, here's a reminder.
Her dog, or her cat, was named Vagina.
A cafe in Dubai has started selling coffee that costs $1,000 a cup. And if that isn't enough, the barista then turns this around. A shocking new survey found that kids as young as 6 are watching pornography on social media sites, and that adults as old as me are watching clips of Spongebob on social media sites. In a new podcast interview, Kamala Harris claimed that she outsmarted Donald Trump during her campaign by playing three-dimensional chess. Well, first of all, she lost the election, the popular vote, every swing state, and probably failed a breathalyzer at some point. She didn't outsmart anyone. And secondly, I'd be surprised if Kamala understands the rules of Hungry Hippos, much less three-dimensional chess. She doesn't exactly seem like a chess grandmaster intellect. But I was trying to figure it out. If she was playing chess, what was Joe Biden's role? Now, at first I thought he'd be the pawn, but the more I think about it, I think Joe Biden was the knight, because every time he'd try to leave the stage, he'd stumble 2 steps to the side before stumbling 1 step forward. After 232 years in production, the last ever U.S. penny was minted on Wednesday in Philadelphia, where it will no doubt be thrown at Santa Claus next time the Eagles lose. Pope Leo released a list of his favorite films, which include It's a Wonderful Life, The Sound of Music, and Life is Beautiful, contradicting the biblical account of the best movie of all time, Paddington 2.